As it's nearly Christmas, this is a wonderfully quick recipe as an alternative to the ordinary mince pie pinwheels. All you need is one Jus-Rol ready rolled puff pastry sheet, some mince meat, an egg to glaze, and then finally just a little icing sugar to sprinkle over the top at the end. All you do is pop a piece of baking parchment or greaseproof or foil onto a board and then simply unroll the pastry sheet onto that. Now the reason we need the parchment is to help us roll up the pinwheels later on. Now take some mincemeat, which is just from an ordinary jar of mincemeat, and you're going to place onto the pastry 3 to 4 good spoonfuls of it, because you're going to spread it out in an even layer, and it's easier to do the spreading if it's not all in one clump in the middle. Then with a nice palette knife or smooth knife, anyway, not a sharp one, spread it evenly over the pastry. And it does need to be even because you're going to roll the pastry up, and it is here where you might find you need to add just a little more because these are absolutely delicious and you mustn't stint on the filling. After all, it is Christmas. What I sometimes do is just add either some diced apple or diced cherries or diced dried apricots just to make it a little bit more special. Right, now comes the fun part. You start to roll it up by lifting this edge of the parchment and just pressing down the pastry and then gradually pulling the parchment away from you. And lo and behold, you have a perfect roll of mincemeat and puff pastry. And now all you do is cut this into some nice even slices. Cut off the end bit, and you should get sort of 18 to 20 from here. As you can imagine, the mincemeat is really quite sticky, so having the baking parchment on the tin is particularly important on this sort of a recipe. You don't need to use a whole egg, you can use milk to glaze with, but the egg does give it a particularly nice golden colour and a good shine. So there you are, mince pie pinwheels ready to go into the oven. And these will bake at 220 degrees centigrade, or if you've got a fan-assisted oven, 200 degrees centigrade, gas mark 7, and they'll take about 12 to 15 minutes, so don't go away. Makes me feel really Christmassy. So, just before we serve, we'd sprinkle them with just a little icing sugar. You don't really need to do this, but it just gives that final touch and the festive look. And then serve them onto the platter or serving dish. Now these are absolutely lovely on their own, or to make it even more Christmassy, you could serve it with some brandy butter or some brandy flavoured cream.